the richest teenager in the world, Barron Trump. How many teenagers do you know who have a net worth that could rival Hollywood celebrities? Barron Trump, the youngest son of Donald and Melania Trump, has grown up surrounded by billion-dollar deals, private estates, and luxury that most people will never experience. From a 10,000 square foot mansion at Mar-a-Lago to custom designer suits and even a racehorse gifted by a foreign president, Barron's lifestyle is on a whole different level. But just how rich is he today? And how does his fortune stack up against his famous siblings and even his own father's empire? Let's find out. Barron Trump's net worth. All right, be honest. When you hear the name Trump, you probably think of billion-dollar hotels, gold elevators, and some serious power moves, right? But what if I told you that while the world's been focused on Donald, one of the richest Trumps might actually be his teenage son? Yep. Barron Trump isn't just growing taller. He's stacking millions, too. And with Donald Trump back as the 47th president, all eyes are back on Barron, the only teenager in the Trump family lineup. Remember, this kid was barely 11 years old when he first walked into the White House in 2017, and now he's stepping into something even bigger, a massive fortune. So how rich are we talking? Well, according to National World, Barron's net worth is estimated to be around $80 million. $80 million. Let that sink in for a second. Wouldn't you have loved to be that rich before you even got your driver's license? Most of Barron's wealth comes from family assets, like a jaw-dropping 10,000 square foot mansion at Mar-a-Lago, priced at around $11 million. Oh, and just casually, there's also a 30-acre estate in New Jersey, worth about $19 million with his name tied to it. Talk about an insane head start in life. And it doesn't stop there. A big chunk of Barron's future is locked up in a trust fund, carefully crafted by his dad. But here's where it gets even more interesting. According to Mary Jordan's book, The Art of Her Deal, Melania Trump wasn't playing around when it came to her son's future. She renegotiated her prenup with Donald to make sure Barron had his slice of the Trump fortune guaranteed. Now here's the real tea. Is Barron Trump already richer than some of his siblings? The answer might surprise you. While Barron's exact net worth isn't set in stone, if National World's estimates are even close, he could already be ahead of his half-sister, Tiffany Trump. And that's a big deal. Tiffany, the daughter of Donald Trump and Marla Maples, reportedly has a net worth somewhere between $10 and $30 million. Not too shabby. But if Barron's fortune really sits around $80 million, he's already in a different league. But don't get it twisted. Barron still has a long climb if he ever wants to catch up with his older brothers. Eric and Donald Jr., they're each sitting on an estimated $350 million. And then there's Ivanka Trump, who, along with her husband, Jared Kushner, boasts a combined net worth of about $800 million. And towering over all of them, of course, is Donald Trump himself. According to Forbes, the 47th president has a personal fortune of around $6.8 billion. No competition there, at least, not yet. But here's where things get even more interesting. Barron is the only child from Donald's marriage to Melania, and insiders say he's expected to inherit a sizable chunk of the Trump empire down the line. Given how complex, and let's be honest, controversial, the Trump family's finances are, you can bet there's a lot more stacking up for Barron's future. Well, what a lucky young man. But now, you have to wonder, what are the most ridiculously expensive things Barron Trump owns? Let's dive deeper. Barron's pricey timepiece. When you're a Trump, even your casual outfits come with a side of serious flex. On March 30th, 2025, Page 6 photographers spotted Barron Trump walking into Trump Tower with his mom, Melania. Now, quick side note. Melania reportedly avoids the White House whenever she can, choosing instead to stay closer to Barron in New York, or chill at their Mar-a-Lago estate. And honestly, can you blame her? Anyway, Barron was rocking a low-key, all-dark outfit. Black shirt, black pants, navy windbreaker. Simple, right? But there was one thing that definitely wasn't simple. On his wrist, a Rolex Daytona in 14-karat yellow gold. Yep, this wasn't just any watch. It was a statement. The Daytona isn't just pretty, it's packed with features. It's got a tachymeter. Basically, it measures speed based on time and distance. Would Barron really need to time how fast he gets from one NYU class to another? Probably not. But hey, it's there if he ever feels like pretending he's racing a Formula One car across campus. Oh, and just so you know, this isn't the kind of watch you pick up on a casual mall trip. Barron's Rolex costs around $47,800. That's almost 2/3 of a full year's tuition at NYU, sitting right there on his wrist. Now sure, he could probably check the time with his phone like the rest of us. But where's the fun in that, right? Barron's apartment. Okay, so while most kids are lucky if they get their own bedroom growing up, Barron Trump, he basically got his own private kingdom. Technically, the Trump Tower apartment Barron lives in belongs to his dad, Donald Trump. But let's be real. Since he was a toddler, Barron has had an entire floor of the Trump family's penthouse all to himself. Not just a bedroom, not just a private bathroom, a whole floor. While other kids worried about getting crayon marks on the walls, Barron had a full-blown space where he could play, explore, and do whatever without anyone stressing over the marble floors or the gold-trimmed furniture. And get this, the apartment even has a separate kitchen, a living room, and extra bedrooms where his nannies used to stay. Yeah, that's not a bedroom. That's a mini-mansion inside a skyscraper. After spending his post-White House years chilling with his parents at their Mar-a-Lago resort, Barron moved back to Manhattan once he enrolled at NYU. And no, he didn't downgrade to a cramped college dorm. He went right back to luxury. The Trump family's entire suite is valued at around $100 million, while a regular apartment in Trump Tower runs anywhere from $2 to $9 million, depending on size. Makes you wonder, when your college apartment is nicer than 99% of hotels in New York, how do you even focus on studying? Barron's style is evolving now. When your dad's a billionaire and your mom's a former supermodel, let's be honest, your closet isn't going to look anything close to normal. And Barron Trump? He's basically living proof that being born into money comes with some seriously next-level fashion. Even as a preschooler, Barron was already pulling off looks that most adults could only dream of. Remember that viral suitcase video from Larry King Live? Tiny Barron strolling around in a sharp blazer and sweater combo? And while we don't know exactly how much the outfit cost, that little Louis Vuitton mini briefcase he carried? Yeah, that alone reportedly cost close to $10,000. Since then, Barron's style has been a mix of relatable and ridiculously exclusive. Sometimes he keeps it chill, like when he rocked a $30 The Expert t-shirt from J.Crew, which was already trending before he made it even cooler by wearing it. Seriously, would you expect the kid of a billionaire to pull up in a t-shirt we can actually afford? But more recently, Barron's taste has shifted toward pure luxury. For Donald Trump's second inauguration, he turned to Pierce Bespoke, a custom designer who built his brand after appearing on Shark Tank. Founder Nathan Pierce even described Barron as down-to-earth, nice as can be, and super hospitable. Not exactly what you expect to hear about someone growing up with private jets and penthouses. And while Pierce's suits start at around $900, let's be real. The Trumps probably didn't just order the basic package for the big day. You know they went all out. But here's the plot twist you didn't see coming. Barron's most expensive outfits weren't even designer. For 3 years, while attending Florida's elite Oxbridge Academy, Barron wore simple polo shirts, khakis, and logo sweaters. The same stuff you can snag from Land's End for like $20 to $64. The real kicker? Oxbridge Academy charges around $43,000 a year in tuition, plus a $2,500 annual student fee. And that doesn't even cover the fancy MacBook every student is required to have. So basically, even Barron's school uniform came with a price tag most people wouldn't believe. But that's not all. Barron owns a four-legged victory. You know you're living a different kind of life when one of your most expensive possessions is a horse you've never even met. Back in July 2019, when Barron was just 13, Mongolian President Khaltmagin Batulga visited the White House for some serious trade talks. But in true Mongolian fashion, where horses are basically national treasures, Batulga didn't just show up with handshakes and speeches. He brought a gift, and not just any gift, a horse. Yep, Barron was officially the new owner of a Mongolian horse. A big deal, considering how much these animals are respected in Mongolian culture for herding, travel, and even their super nutritious milk. Now, if Barron's horse came from a champion bloodline, and let's be real, it probably did, experts say it could be worth up to $70,000. That's not just a pony for backyard rides. Psych. That's a luxury asset with four legs and a serious price tag. Donald Trump decided to name the horse Victory, which sounds about right. But there was one small catch. The horse stayed in Mongolia. Now, if you were given a $70,000 champion horse as a gift, would you leave it overseas or hop on the next flight to say hello? Barron Trump's fortune is already something most teenagers couldn't even dream of. But this is just the beginning. If you had access to that kind of wealth at his age, would you stay low-key and live life quietly? Or would you make some serious power moves and build your own empire? Let me know what you would do. I'm really curious to see which way you'd go. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for more celebrity collections.